Yes, I thought I would change it up.
Samechei, which...
Beginning, Samachei. Oh, which you mean which? Not Tinyana. Likutey Moharan.
no, regular, yeah. No,
yeah.
I'm saying the first number.
That's Samach Daled.
Yeah.
Okay, fine. So this is a very intense Torah. Okay, so we're learning it because we learn Megillat Ruth, and I think it's apropos that we learn it. Just a little background on the Torah that Rabbi Nachman gave this Torah over. We're not going to get through the whole thing today. I don't think so. That would be a miracle, but we'll get through the important beginning parts, which is I think pretty intense and things that Rabbi Nachman's imparting on everybody. And if you put yourself in his Talmidim's shoes, you can understand why this is an intense Torah. So Rabbi Nachman gave this Torah over samuch to his son Shlomo Ephraim's death. Okay? Day after. Very depressed situation.
But he gave this over at the...
Not the funeral. Maybe it's the day after. Maybe it's right after the Shiva. We know that Rabbi Nachman was very, like anybody, very saddened by this. He lost 2 sons and a daughter, and Shlomo Ephraim lived over a year. He was very close with him, and obviously any father would be. But he really felt that that he and Shlomo would be able to bring Mashiach together. That he was going to grow up to help him bring Mashiach.
How old was Shlomo?
Over a year, a little over a year.
A year old?
Yeah.
Well,
he eventually he'd get to a point. He'd grow up, and together they'd be able to bring Mashiach. That he was the successor for Rabbi Nachman, and he was basically either Mashiach himself or the soul of Mashiach, or they together they'd be able to bring Mashiach together. And that without Shlomo Ephraim, it would be put the end of the Geula Shlema would be pushed off. He was very depressed, and so he gave this class over to his Talmidim that saw that the Rebbe was very depressed. And so with that we should start, okay?
How did the Rebbe Nachman get sad? Despite all his Torahs.
People are human. He couldn't understand how we get sad if he didn't get sad himself. And then that's what makes him such a unique tzaddik. You hear the academics like, oh, he's just a very depressed person. But aren't we all kind of in the back of our minds and hearts, if we're really honest with ourselves, like we have downtimes? Like we do. He's just, he was honest. People aren't honest with themselves or honest with other people. It makes him a unique tzaddik. Maybe the Kutchka Rebbe would be another person who's very unique. He's really depressed for 20 years straight. He wouldn't leave his room. But we're not talking about. I don't think he was depressed like that. I think he suffered from longing for what he felt was for the ideal world. I think he really felt since he was a baby, a child, that he was destined to bring Geula. And not in a very megalomaniac, Gaividic sense, but he was able to pierce the veil of reality like nobody else could. And to give that gift where you can talk to souls that are not even here. They're he's not living like we do. And so the idea that he's depressed, I don't think it's not depression like we understand it to be, but it expresses itself that way. He is a tafki to do it. He's not able to do it. And this is telling you about a person who, at a young age, they all felt that the Chassidim, his great-grandfather's Talmidim, and his Talmidim, including the inner circle of his family, thought that he was it. Certainly Dagel Machane Ephraim did, which was his uncle. He spoke to him at his bar mitzvah. I'm not saying Mashiach, but they felt that he was the sort of inheritor of all the Baal Shem Tov's light in Torah. He was like the guy they're looking for. Well, I don't think Mashiach is a good name for it because nobody called him Mashiach. No one ever openly. I just think they thought that he was the Baal Shem Tov's light was waning. He was in the 3rd generation. It was already waning. Nobody was really picking it up and running with it. Yes, the Magen Mezrich had a yeshiva and he was teaching. He was spreading it out there, the teachings, but nobody was like the Baal Shem Tov. And out comes Rabbi Nachman, who's a child prodigy. There's a little boy who was like speaking to like his, he said he'd go to his great grandfather's kever in Mezhebush and have a conversation with him. Like open conversation. It's not normal. This isn't a kid that's normal by any stretch of the imagination. So much so that he learned he had to hide it from people. He says he had to hide it from people. Yeah, and act like a crazy kid, just to, But it became apparent after a while. Very similar to his great grandfather. It became very, very apparent that he wasn't a normal person. And so they really felt that was it until the Spolar Zaidi, when he was already in Medvika, chases him. He was in Medvika, he was Slatabolia, and he chases him out of there. They all turned on him. A person that was like turned on by the very, very same people that he felt that was like his closest people. Lashon Hara. Like anything else, people spreading rumors about what he felt and what he said. I mean, listen, he said great and crazy, to them crazy things. I'm already greater than the Baal Shem Tov. And that sounds like if you see it written, not heard it from him, the tone he was using, you would think he was crazy. Oh, here we go again. This was the same thing they accused the Baal Shem Tov of Shabtai Tzvi or Yaakov Frank, and he thinks he's Mashiach.
What was the original argument against, in general, the Baal Shem Tov? Was that the Baal Shem, from Misnagdim, that Baal Shem Tov was again trying to start a revolution?
Yeah. Definitely.
It was.
No question about that.
No.
No question about that.
He wasn't saying that.
He was really trying to start a revolution.
He was trying to start a revolution, not a Shem.
No question.
Not saying that he was Mashiach. It's very different between starting Mashiach, starting a revolution, saying you're Mashiach, and starting a revolution of the way we bring light into the world in terms of Torah. It's very different.
So understand that Shlomo Ephraim's death by itself maybe could be explained for Rabbi Nachman, who sees everything in the universe, as we've gone through this a lot of times, as a message from HaKadosh Baruch Hu. And interestingly enough, it occurs to me now that Rabbi in the beginning of Rav Levi Yitzhak Binder, one of the leaders of Breslov of the last generation, he writes in the beginning of Emunah Devarav, and his shirim, he recounts the story that when one of Rabbi Nachman's students was getting approbations for Likutey Moharan, he sent messages to other big Hasidic leaders, one of them being the Choza of Lublin, saying one of the things he said is don't be an akshan about bringing Mashiach. Wild. Because Rabbi Nachman is very big on not being an akshan except for davening. But don't be an akshan about being Mashiach. Don't get caught up. Don't spend too much time being stuck in that avoda. Because the Choza was known to be was trying to do all these avodot to bring Mashiach in his generation because he saw ahead. This is a very bad situation, And Rabbi Nachman was like, don't get caught up in it. That was one of the things. It was a tremendous kind of line as that. So, and that comes after all this, after Shlomo Ephraim. Almost like after Shlomo Ephraim, he's like, okay, this is going to take a lot longer. See, they can't look just as like his son. He says that all of his avodot were built for this. And he's not going to have an officer, he's not going to have a son to take over the dynasty. He's not going to bring Mashiach. Is he meant to bring Mashiach? See, that puts this in this context about what he's about to say here. And this is the central thesis that he works with post on his way basically the next 4 years before he gets to Uman. I'm not going to be here. I'm meant for something else. But he's going to explain it now in a very cryptic, strange way. Vayomer Boaz Ruth, don't go and collect like it from somewhere else. V'gam lo ta'avori mizah v'chulei. Einecha b'sadeh asher yikserun. Your eyes are on the sadeh that you're cutting. Halach tachareihem halo saviti anaarim lebilti negecha. Go there without letting the naarim touch you. V'samit alachta el kelim. V'shatit ma'asher shabun naarim. Fine, that's in Ruth. Rabbi Nachman starts off saying this. And once again, understand he just lost his son to tuberculosis. Da ki yesh sadeh. Know that there's a sadeh, a field. V'sham gedilim ilanot v'asavim yafim na'im ma'od. And there grows these trees and grass, beautiful trees and grass. V'godel yakar yofe hasadeh gedulav ef shalasaper. You can't explain this. Something out of his stories. Something out of his Rabbi Nachman's stories himself. It's like this beautiful garden. There's a field. Ashrei ayin ra'ata zot. Happy is the one who sees this. Ilanot asavim hem bechinat neshamot kedoshot gedelim sham. They're an aspect of the souls that grow there. V'yesh kama v'kama neshamot arumim. There's many naked souls. Shehem na'im v'nadim mechutz l'sadeh. And they go outside of they go back and forth from outside the sadeh. Umamtinin umetzapim al tikun, and they wait and they gaze upon their rectification. Shichlu lashuv liknos el makomam, and that they'll be able to return and enter to their place. V'gam afilu neshamot gedolah, even big souls, Shabbat teluyim kama neshamot that come with many other neshamot, like attached to them. Sometimes they go outside. They leave the sadeh. Sometimes it's very hard for them. These little souls, right? So they latch on to these big souls. You can only understand what he means by a big soul. It means they're probably a big tzaddik that's able to bring a lot of other souls with him. They're all waiting for the Baal Sadeh. That he's able to. He needs to work for the rectification. V'yesh neshama shetikuna ayedei mitah she'echad, or ayedei mitzvah va'avodah she'echad. There's a soul, a particular soul, that's rectified through the death of one, or through the mitzvah or the service of Hashem of another. So each one is waiting in this field for his rectification, dependent upon the actions of another soul.
Someone dies, someone else is rectified?
Depends on what their soul is. They're in the field, they're waiting to go into the field. Obviously, it's a mashal, right? Umi shirotze lechagor matanav, v'haknis atzmo lihiyot hu baal sadeh. One who decides to take upon himself to gird his loins and be the baal sadeh. There'll be one who does this. Tzarich liyot ish amud v'takif v'gibor chayo v'hacham v'tzadik gadol ma'od. The one who's the Baal Sadeh has to be all those things. Ki tzarich liyot adam gadol muflag b'ma'ala ma'od. He needs to be on a different level. Yeah, he's got to be the sheni l'malchut in the bat melech. He's got to be one of the betlers. In the 7 betlers. It's got to be on a different level. Not just the tzaddik. Adam Mufla, but tzaddik Gadol, Hacham, the whole 9 yards. Yesh echad she'eno yachol l'gmor inyan ki im mitato. There's one who can't achieve the level of the Baal Sadeh unless he dies. Apparently. Even though he's dead, he still has to be super great. beyond anybody else, because there's many people that ain't tzaddikim die that can't become the Baal Sadeh. רק אם יש אדם גדול מופלג מעלה מאוד מאוד יכול לגמור מה שצריך בחיים חיותו. כי הרבה יסורים ודברים קשים עוברים עליו. Because during his life, there's many yisurim and things and very difficult things, tests that pass over him. Ach ayidei gadluto, sorry, umalato over al kulam. Because he's so great, he can pass all these tests. He's able to actually carry out the pu'ulot of the sadeh.
What does it mean to pass the tests?
All these trials and tribulations he's going through, the tzaddik is going through.
So how do you what does it mean, what does that look like to pass this test? You still have a moon and Hashem? Is that what passing the test means? Or do you...
He doesn't give up. He doesn't give up on what he's trying to do to get to the next level. He doesn't give up. He's not just resting with just being a tzaddik. He understands what his role is. כזוכה לתקן נשמות להכניסם אז הטוב ויפה מאוד להתפלל כי אז תפילה על תיקונה. That when he's zocha to rectify these neshamot and enter them in, bring them in, so that they're able to actually pray kamosha sarich. He has tefillah al tikuna. They're rectified. Their ability to speak to HaKadosh Baruch Hu properly is rectified. Zeh habal sadeh hu mashkiach u'mishtadel tamid lahashkot li'ilanot gedolim. Bal sadeh is constantly trying to give hashpa'ah, koach, life force, to these souls that are waiting to come into the field and waiting to enter in. Sorry. And that's his job. They're waiting to come into the field. They're waiting to grow in the field. And he's given life force, chiyas. What's the chiyas? The ability to pray, speak to HaKadosh Baruch Hu carefully. Because that's all it is. That's all that matters. That's the Baal Sadeh's job. When all is lost, he gives the koach to speak to HaKadosh Baruch Hu, unlocks the heart, helps them grow, helps people to do their avodas Hashem. זה בעל שדה הוא משגיח ומשתדל תמיד להשקות אילנו לגדלם ובשאר תיקוני השדה להרחיק האילנות זה מזה הרכה ראוי. He keeps them away from each other, keeps them growing. He's taking care of everything. שלא יחחיש אחד את חברו. One will not weaken his friend. Obviously, as we said before, the trees and the things in the sadeh are the souls of Am Yisrael. כי לפעמים צריך להראות Mikarov, Gadol Harcha, Gadolah. Sometimes you have to bring one closer, one further away. Kedei shelo yachish el chavero. Question so far? Let's run it off. Deep, huh? Trippy. Rabbi Nachman was going into Uman, not before he died, not 6 months, but early on. And he had told Rabbi Nassim this on his way to Uman before he died. And he told a story when he was coming from Medlicha to when he was coming on the way to Breslov. And he stops in Uman, and he recounts a story that the Baal Shem Tov said to his Talmidim. If the Baal Shem Tov is in a place, Uman, and Baal Shem Tov said there's hundreds of thousands of souls here, and they're screaming for help. And I wasn't able to help them. I can't metapel people that are not alive. And he got very scared. So Nachman felt that was his tafkid, to do what his grandfather couldn't do. He would go to Uman and metapel them, but he had to die there to do it. Somehow Uman is this gateway of all the neshamot that are not fixed in the world. And there's reasons why it's apparent when you're there. There's something going on. And he had to enter into that in order to rectify it. And that was a key point of the Geula. I think we mentioned before that he left Breslov on Hayir. House burnt down. He says to Reb Nelson, we need to get out of here. We have to get to Uman. A fire in Breslov. Happened a lot. And they left. I believe they left Breslov on Hayir. Yeah. Pretty trippy. And there's a person, the tzaddik, that says Uman is the key to Geula, and Hayir is all tied up to with wild stuff. It's a side point. The point. This is a tour of the avoda of the tzaddik emes. It's tied up to this is the avoda that's tied up to the tzaddik emes. That's to be the Baal Sadeh. There's got to be someone, even in their death, they're such a great tzaddik, they're beyond anything we understand. Their role, until the Mashiach comes, is just to take care of the souls of Israel. That are waiting to get into the Sadeh, that want to grow in the Sadeh, they need all these different help, they need help. And he's willing to take that on, this particular tzaddik. He'll take that role on. That the tzaddik's job is to help you get your way through your own maze. Right? The Mesilas Yesharim says we live in a maze. Our brains are like we don't know what we're doing. We're trying to find our way out. And he goes, listen, I made it all. Before he dies, he tells Reb Nosson, why are you so sad? I'm going before you in order to pave the way for each person to get out of here. It's a very powerful statement. That's the Baal Sadeh. The Baal Sadeh makes sure the Sadeh is there and clean so the souls can grow. So we can achieve what we need to achieve. No, he's not an intermediary. He's not an intermediary. He removes the blockages so we can access who we really are. Because we're not well. We come into this world already not well. And we have to spend our entire lifetime trying to figure it out. We have ups and downs, and we have these problems and these tests. So he's clearing out, cleaning it out so we can grow properly. That's exactly what he's saying. He cleans it out. He makes he's watering. Everybody needs what they need. He's not an intermediary in that sense. He's he's cleaning it up so we can do what we need to do. V'da shehaneshamot osim perot sheosim rotzono shel makom. Azay meirin einai Baal Sadeh. V'yicholin liot sofin ro'in b'makom shetzarich. Know that the neshamot that are giving off perot, they are doing, what are the perot? We know they're mitzvot and tefillot, vakashot. The souls that are doing that, right? The ilanot that are doing that, the neshamot that are doing that. When they do that, they lighten up the eyes of the Baal Sadeh, of the tzaddik emes. It's wild. But we give koach to the tzaddik emes, so he can give koach to Am Yisrael in the world. I remember I've said plenty of times that the misconception that God is up here and we're down here, and therefore, like when there's a tzaddik, we envision him as an intermediary, which we think is an usher. That's usually our envisioning of God as being up there, and we're down here is usually is off. Everybody's in this together, whether they're alive or not alive, right? All the souls are in this together, and we're one organism called Knesset Yisrael, and so the tzaddik is the leiv. And so the tzaddik emes, the one who's the Yesod Olam until Mashiach comes, every time there is another one of those, this time there's one until Mashiach comes, his job is to give life force in those moments where we are struggling in order to achieve our own authenticity, our own real who we really are. That's what he's talking about here. So when we do what we're supposed to do, we lighten up his eyes. This is a big mushal, this whole thing. Obviously, you can see. It's not like a...
But it's still very esoteric.
Yes, it's extremely esoteric.
It's like,
Once again, he gave this right after his son. First story he gave her after his son dies. And he shifted. This is the Rabbi said this is the beginning of his shift of his modality and what his purpose is. He got very picked up when they said when he realized this, he got very lifted up. This is going to be a long haul. But he can't bring Mashiach right then.
couldn't you say that?
That-
Couldn't you say that like, if we're saying that sort of death and life is all not one, meaning we can't tell and see what the different like the different. So wouldn't it make more sense for a Baal, for somebody who's living to be the Baal Sadeh, and somebody who's
How does he deal with them? How does he tell them the Neshamos that are not here, that want to get into the field? There's souls that are waiting to get into the field. I'm not saying.
Well, I mean, the Neshama could be something. We understand the Neshama that I assume. I don't know.
He's saying there are souls that left and trying to get back into the field. They need help getting in. They're stuck. In Oman. They're stuck in Auschwitz. They're stuck in wherever they are. They're stuck. They're stuck here. So you're right. There could be somebody who's alive that it could be the Baal Shem in theory. And once again, I think life and death is very, very, if you're careful here. Because I think, ultimately speaking, we're talking about, in many ways, a consciousness. I mean, we experience the tzaddik here as a kever or his Torah. That's how in our world of layers, that's how we experience. So his tikkunim, how we experience the tikkunim, is by learning his Torah or by going to his kever, following his eitzot. That's how we experience it. But there's no time, right, outside of this universe. And we're not talking about a spook flying around doing things, because we are talking about this flow of light, of das, in this world. I believe it's in Samach Vav even, no? I don't have to all look around here, but he talks about the branches of the tree, and the tzaddik being the tree, and the branches are his talmidim, and then we have the ilim, which are the leaves, which are less attached to the tzaddik. And some branches, they're so attached to the tree, they're so big, they're attached to the tree, they actually feel, the tzaddik and them can feel each other. I'm not in that madrega level, but there's definitely Rabbanim, especially in the last Dorot of Breslov, that I really felt that they could be in touch with Rabbi Nachman in a very intrinsic way. Whatever that means. The point being is that if you put the esoteric aside, the Baal Sadeh is the tzaddik emes whose tree is constantly growing outward and whose eitzot are out in the world doing tikkunim through the eitzot and through the light of their Torah and through their talmidim and all sorts of... I'm saying put the esoteric aside. And that more and more people are going to come to his tree and join with his tree, or be that bird that sniffs the flower on the tree, until the tree encompasses all the world. That's the pastel painting in your head, in one's head, of the tzaddik growing. And he's saying a different mashal here. Obviously, he's saying the Baal Sadeh is water, but you can imagine it's like amazing. He's just walking around taking care of things. When the souls of Am Yisrael, I'm putting that in there, and that's what he's talking about. The souls in the Sadeh, i.e. the souls of Am Yisrael, do not do the Ratzon of Hashem. Chas v'shalom. As a nit chashchin, enam, it darkens up his eyes, chas v'shalom. Ze bechinat sde bochim. Ki bechihu kilku harud, because crying is corrupts your, makes your eyes not be able to see clearly. Kamosh Ketuv v'shavu avim achar geshem. There's another Torah, Samach Zayin, Tinyana, that uses the same lashon. He speaks a lot about that there. Destruction of the Beit Mikdash, rain's coming, things like that. Sheholech achar bechi. Ube'enav mirot v'sofim v'bechinot stei sofim hanal. As hayichol yistakel b'chol echad ve'echad. L'havio el tachlis. When he gets his koach from our tshuva. From our tshuva, when we yearn, our kisufim, when we yearn to do the ratzon of Hashem. I'm putting that in because he says it in other places. That you can't accomplish the mitzvah if you have kisufin. It's enough. If you desire and yearning to serve Kodesh Baruch, it's enough. And so what happens is he gets re'ut. Wow, he can see that the Baal Sadeh actually can pull people to their tachli. What does it mean? You can imagine this. This is the mashal, right? You're a tree. Your soul is like a tree. It's growing, but there's all these weeds and all these things growing around it. And you're not there. You haven't achieved what you're supposed to achieve in life. There's another infected mushroom concert. You're coming back at 5 a.m. Yeah, it's cool. It's chilled. But you know it's like weeds. It's good for you right now. And you're cool with it. But you want to cut a little path through there just so you can get through there every once in a while. It's just making a mashal. And he sees your yearning. And so he helps you cut down the weeds. So you can achieve your whole purpose. That's only for you to figure out. Each one has its own purpose. We've gone through this before. Everybody's on their own journey.
It's still so many details. Torah and mitzvot, Torah learning and doing mitzvot is at least in the structure which purpose will
Yeah, but I think that's Dovid Mark and Ephraim says 2 parshas ago, he said something quite beautiful that, okay, every soul, we're sent down here to raise up the mundane. Because all these sparks fell in the left Gan Eden, beginning of creation, and especially when we left Gan Eden, everything got broken. It's not just the mitzvot. Not just the mitzvot. The mitzvot are obvious. Everybody's got to do them. But everybody's got also a unique journey ahead of themselves. So what situations they're in, what other people can they affect? What mundane activities can they actually uplift and raise the spark of creation and out of that? And only some things are only capable that Josh or Yaakov can do, not me. That's for sure, but that's something that's a very arbitrary reality. Meaning, we don't really understand it. Because once again, you say these are ethical monotheistic points. That doesn't make any sense, right? Oh, they make the world a better place, or it's all beautiful, and that's what Tikkun Olam is. It doesn't make any sense. What does Paraduma have to do with their version of social justice, Tikkun Olam, or ethical monotheism, or any of that stuff? It doesn't have anything to do with it. Heck, you can argue Korbanot themselves have nothing to do with it. Exactly. You're going to go down that one and none of these have anything to do with it. It's just use the Navi and be a just or that's you fall. So it can't be about this world as we know it, as we see it.
No, now we can't be in this world alone as we see.
Okay.
Otherwise, then anything that would not be any chok or any oath that we don't necessarily.
Exactly.
Am I really being such a bad human being if it was meant for a child? So if I
100%.
look at the world in this prism, yes. I mean, if I look at the world in this prism, there are people who are doing much more immoral things than I'm doing. That being said, if you look at the world as in, there is stuff that I do understand, like being good to like the classic, not like the classic Tikkun Olam things, but like the total, like within the dinim of Ben Adam Chavera, then you also look at the more, not esoteric, but the more also stringent parts of the Ben Adam Makol, that are parts that you won't be able to understand the Talmud for the same way that you may be able to understand why I'm not supposed to speak Lesson of Likutey about my friends, or not supposed to charge him royalties, or I don't know, just term
Interest.
interest, or not supposed to, meaning all these different things.
So, yeah, the mitzvah are arbitrary in that sense. Like, they appear arbitrary to us. But remember, they're really like, it's not like they're not rules given to us to do because this deity says to give them to them. The Torah in HaKadosh Baruch Hu, for all intents and purposes, is one concept. It's just in a fragmented universe, the world of Chalal Panui, of free space, there can't be Hashem over it, or we would have no free choice. So all we have left is Ratzon. And that Ratzon is contracted itself into the Torah itself, into the layers of Torah, so we can then take that Ratzon, which is all interwoven in the world anyway. It's the same Ratzon that flows through the world, but now we understand it. And so the world seems very covered up. When I do a mitzvah, I'm uncovering that aspect of the world that was covered up before. We don't understand anything more than that. At least, I don't. But and it's not necessary that we do. So that we have to take care of, like an army or a family, or really, we are the creator. We are really, in a lot of ways, the creator. It's just we don't know it. We're not aware of it. And so, bringing this unification back to the universe that we found ourselves in is the purpose, the klali and objective purpose of Am Yisrael. Within that purpose, somebody being happy or good in this, having a great life in this world is not the purpose. Dang, we just went through right in the beginning. He's a tzaddik emes. And he ain't looking like he is an easy ride here. So clearly the Torah, as we understand it, is not about having and achieving a good life as we understand it from a Western perspective. Because we're on a mission down here. We're a very short amount of time. And the tzaddik goes, listen, this last stage here, we need a Baal Sedeh. This last stage until Mashiach comes, we need a tzaddik emes whose whole mission is to take care of the neshamot until the end. And once again, I think we experience in our cognitive reality, like I said, through the Eitzot, through the growth in accepting his Torah as this pathway for our own selves, especially in this postmodern reality, that's becoming so apropos to understand it as. The ability to fight depression, the ability to fight these types of things that the whole global conglomerate is throwing at us. And so we said, listen, I'll be the Baal Sedeh. I'll be this Baal Sedeh. I'll take it upon myself. Fine. If I have to exit early, I'll exit early. But know that I'm going before. He tells me, I'm going before you. No, don't be upset. Now you can all follow. Get out of the maze. And he's not just saying to Reb Nosson, he's saying to everybody. And that's the Baal Sedeh.
Why do you think he chooses the analogy of the field and the house that it's supposed to like a king?
Well, we know the mashal already, right? Adam Eitz Sadeh. That's what we're calling Eitz Sadeh. He didn't come up with it. You understand? Like we are Eitz Sadeh, and we know this in the beginning of Tehillim already. Right in the second Kapitel Tehillim. There were Eitz that's drinking water from the spring. What's the spring? The spring is the water of is water of the Torah, which is basically from the tzaddik. You know. I mean, he has other Torahs talking about the tzaddik being at the entrance to Gan Eden. It's being controlling the four rivers, which is the flow of light coming into the world. I mean, that's the idea. And the idea that someone had, I guess, and he really believed that if he can't have Geula there, then and there, that he would then now go into a mode where he was going to be this Baal Sadeh. And I think that's where the mashal of the Sadeh is coming from. That we have we don't really understand our neshamot. They're cosmic, just beyond cosmic. Hey, we're these finite beings that struggle with like the most simple things in life. And yet they're these cosmic entities. They're so powerful, like megaton, like nuclear weapons. And so he's said there, they're growing and they're having a hard time growing. Hold up. Don't worry about it. We won't turn off yet. Oh, we're definitely running out of time now.
So how does
Okay, close.
we're not gonna get to it. How does this connect to Shavuos?
So that's a good question. He gets to Boaz and Ruth later on. One, it's connecting to Likutey Moharan. It's connecting to Boaz and Ruth. Boaz is, he talks about later on Boaz being the Seichel, and Ruth being the Shemot, the Shechina, the Neshama, and emotion. Yeah. So this idea that the Boaz being the sort of Baal Sadeh, Boaz being this mashal of raising up the Neshamot, of bringing the Neshamot, helping the Neshamot to grow. I think that's what he's going with here. I'll leave you with that. I think that's a good place to stop. Is that okay? Yeah, we're good? I think that's a good place to stop. Shiva, Haliger Shirot.